My name is Jesse Lucas. I work at Pikeville High School, and I'm the physics and engineering teacher. This is my third year teaching here and third year overall. My project is called STEM Virtual Worlds. So really, my problem of practice was, can we use technology to help spark interest in STEM fields, even in a pandemic? One of the biggest problems that I knew I would have in my science classes no matter what during this pandemic, if we were virtual or if we were the hybrid schedule, is being hands-on. The problem with science classes is you can really only have one of two. You can have one where it's just paper, pencil, it's notes, problems, and I don't really prefer that way. Or you can do a lot of hands-on activities, you can do a lot of labs, and that's what I like to do. I like to do that because I think it sparks a lot of interest in STEM careers. And it also allows you to step inside the scientist's shoes so you can see things from their perspective. So I really needed it hands-on. Now Pikeville right now is on a hybrid schedule, and what that means is every student has been split into two different groups, either an A group or a B group, depending on their last name, and they come every other day. So my A group comes Monday, and they come Wednesday. My B group comes Tuesday and Thursday. The Fridays alternate back and forth. So I've got these kids in my class for 2 to 3 times a week. So while I'm in person, I've got to have really concentrated doses of hands-on activities. And when I'm not here, I still try and make it as hands-on as possible. So my plan with this grant was really 3 different things. The first thing that I wanted to use it for was Robot C Virtual Worlds. That is a robotics simulator. That way the students could code and the robot could still go through the simulation. And mostly I'm just going to be using that for my Principles of Engineering class, which is my 2nd year engineering class. I also have the Vernier video analysis. That is for my Intro to Physics class. And then also I was going to get an iPad and specifically load it down with apps. The main app being Explain Everything, which is a virtual whiteboard. I can use that for physics or in engineering. So with Robot C Virtual World, it is a simulator for VEX Robotics. In the class, they do a lot of hands-on activities, and they're building these robots. And as they build these robots, they program the robots to do certain things. Well, if they're not in class, they can't program the robots to complete certain tasks. So it really just depends on the schedule if they can actually build the robots or not. But regardless of if they build the robot or not, now that I've got Robot C Virtual Worlds, they can do simulators to have the robots work through these tasks. That way they can still get the entire unit, because it is an entire unit. It would take almost an entire 9 weeks to do. They can still do it now because of the grant. And even if we are here in person and we can build the robots, it will save a ton of time, because they can fix their code and then they can upload it to the virtual world and have it run through whatever task they wanted to do, instead of having it uploaded straight to the robot, have it run, see that the robot doesn't do what they want, have to go back to the code. So it actually saves a lot of time. And also, when I did purchase it, I got a perpetual license, which means it will always work. All the updates, it'll keep working. As long as I do this in my class, we can use Robot C Virtual World. And here's a couple of pictures. This bottom left-hand one, you can see the code right behind it. And as you click Start Code, it will run the code through the program, and you can see the robot there. That's the Clawbot. And it can do certain tasks. In the top right-hand corner, you can see it just alone. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see a specific task. Now, this task was an interesting one, where they programmed a sensor to follow the line. So as they follow that line, the robot should stick on that line and even take the curves with it. So those are some of the different tasks that they can do. And here's a short video. If we want to watch the video, just a really short video to kind of show you what it is. So there's the code that they have. They're going to upload it straight to the Robot C Virtual World. You can see on this one, there's a team setting. So that would be if they were playing, if we had a robotics team, which we're thinking about setting up. And then boom, you get in your virtual world. You can see it run the code. You can see it at different angles. And it allows the students to have a really hands-on experience with this. So the next thing that I'm going to get is the Vernier video analysis app. So what this does, it's a video analysis app for all the computers. I can put it on every single computer that I have in my class. It's a very, very streamlined process. It's super simple. The students will take a video, they can upload it to this app, and then they can track the movement. And once they track the movement, it will give them all kinds of data. One of the main labs that I want to use this for is to prove the value of gravity. So the students can take a ball, they can drop it, they can throw it horizontally, and then they can throw it up, and they can get multiple different motion graphs with that. And once they have those graphs, they can see that the acceleration is the same for all of them. It's very, very streamlined, very, very simple. It can give you position graphs, motion graphs, any which direction, X and Y. And it also is a perpetual license as well, which means I can use it in my class as long as Vernier keeps sending it updates. So here's a couple of videos. This top left-hand corner, it looks like the man threw a ball in the air, and you can see they tracked the points as it went. And then you can see the data points it has and the different graphs it has. And in this bottom right-hand corner, you can see instead of throwing something up, it just tracked the motion as it came down. So a very similar graph. And the last thing that I was going to use it for was to get an iPad, and specifically the Explain Everything app. So what this is, it's a virtual whiteboard. The whiteboard has all kinds of different features. You have animation features on it. There's video editing on there, so you can speed up and slow down. And it's packaged with a lot of different resources as well. It's a remote whiteboard, so actually my students could get on while, let's say we're on a Google Meet, and I could be whiteboarding and they can see it as well. It does have cloud storage, so any of the videos that I make in the class, it will save. And there is a small purchase for it every year, but I totally plan on using my classroom budget for it every year because I think it's super, super powerful. Here's a couple different of the displays. So on the left-hand one, you can see there's a couple pictures. It'll show you a little bit like that. On this right-hand one, it shows a little bit more. It shows insert new slide, insert handwritten text, insert documents. So inside of this whiteboard, you can insert pretty much anything that you want. You have a lot of different resources. So for proving and measuring the outcomes, the best thing that I can do in the beginning is to give them a pre and post assessment to see if they're even interested in a STEM career, especially in the field that they've used these new technologies. Also for Robot C, I can assign objectives to see if they actually learn it better. So some of the objectives are they could move through a maze, they could pick up a ball and dunk it through a hoop. So that would be really cool. I think I had a blast using it as well, so I think they will. The Vernier video analysis, I can use driving questions, so I can take their misconceptions and I can use driving questions like, is acceleration due to gravity different everywhere, as a pre-assessment to see how they're feeling before. And then I could use a lot of pointed questions on the summative assessment to see if it backs up and to see if they actually learned the information. The Explain Everything app, I can really just compare the math retention before and after. It's been difficult for me to make math videos so far in my physics and engineering classes. So I think that'll really help me, and I think it'll really help the students as well, being able to see a really clear picture and me to be able to make really good videos for them. I can also do a survey to see and make sure that it does help. And that's all I've got for my grant.